Call the Board of Trustees regular meeting Monday, April 2nd, 2018 at 6:30 in order. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Approval of meeting agenda. Any additions or deletions? I have two myself. I would like to add under letter I, 2018 limestone project. And I would like to delete number 12A. Any other additions or deletions, please?
I have none.
Motion then, please.
Make a motion that we approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
Motion by Clerk Kendall, supported by Trustee Gurley. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Number 4, approval of minutes, 3/5/2018, 3/22/2018.
Make a motion we approve the minutes from 3/5/2018 and 3/22/2018 as written.
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Trustee Clifford, supported by Trustee Gurley. Any discussion, questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Number 5, public announcements. Any public announcements at this time? No public announcements. Public comment. Any public comment at this time? No public comment.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Go ahead. I didn't see.
No problem. Board members, I'm Jeff Yarrick, State Representative. I cover Lenox, New Haven area. Just as I said, I appreciate allowing you opening the Township Hall, letting me come in and talk to residents. I think it's a great opportunity to have a good dialogue with their state rep. Just a few things, areas of interest I would share with you that I'm working on. This is also my report card back to the Lenox board. I know that the Lenox has an interest in including the marijuana industry in some way. I know you're having those dialogues. I want to share with you that HCR 0011 is a resolution that we passed out of the House, which says Congress, it's time for you to decide. Are you going to recognize the state of Michigan's position on what the people voted regarding medical marijuana, or are you going to enforce it, or what are you doing? It's just time, especially as a community like Lenox Township is deciding what they're going to do. We need that finality in the law so we can do that. A few things. I have a few bills. The veterans property tax exemption, which was a great thing for our veterans, but local government wasn't reimbursed for that, and I think local government should be reimbursed for what's not being paid. It should have been the state, so I had a hearing on that, so that's been a positive. I think people understand the issue of unfunded mandates. I think people think it's a great thing that we're taking care of our veterans, but again, this was for the state to reimburse local government. 4948, nonpartisan township elections. It's all these things are permissive. It allows the township, if we move that bill to, it were to open to comments, allowing townships to have nonpartisan elections if they prefer to have a nonpartisan. I think a lot of the things that we debate at the local level, because I came from the Richmond City Council, a lot of the things weren't Republican or Democrat when we talk local government. So that's just a permission option, so if people have an interest, come talk to me. 5490 allows townships to become a road agency. So I'm trying to get that moving, which creates an opportunity if a township wanted to get the road money directly. As people know, townships don't have jurisdiction over their roads. I've got a lot of bills to help local government. Bringing up, we're talking about the issue of, the 5% of the marijuana money distribution. I've had that discussion in Lansing. 5706, Act 51 roads. As many people know, Macomb County is a donor. We have 8.7% of the population and 7% of the money comes to. So I'm working to deal with that piece. Hoping to see something happen with that. And I'm sure no fault is a big issue, since we all pay no fault, I've got a few bills to try to work on that too. But I just want to share what I've been working on, and I'll be available also after the meeting for anybody who wants to talk. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Any other public comment? Not at this time. Number 7, consent agenda. All items listed under this consent agenda are considered routine by the Township Board and will be enacted by one motion. According to established Township meeting rules, there will be no separate discussion of these items unless a member of the Board or public so request at or prior to the meeting, in which event the chair of the meeting may remove such items from the consent agenda for discussion and consideration under agenda item number 8 below. Approval of the consent agenda should be by a majority roll call vote of those present and voting.
Total for orders and bills, we have $137,533.71 in invoices to be approved for payment tomorrow. And then we have a total of $1,702,202.95 in invoices for approval that were paid on 3/27. Oh, I'm sorry, for a total of $1,839,736.66.
Thank you.
I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda with, including orders and bills of $1,839,736.66.
A second.
Thank you. Motion by Treasurer Honnold, supported by Trustee Clifford. Any other questions, discussion? Deputy Clerk, roll call, please.
Honnold,
Aye.
Clifford,
Aye.
Kendall,
Aye.
Gurley,
Aye.
Trump.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. No other items removed from consent agenda. No unfinished business. Number 10, letter A, Fire Department Ceiling Replacement Project. Chief Boucher.
Evening, everyone. I dropped a letter off to you last week, along with some quotes. Ceiling tile is beyond need of replacement, probably 5 years ago. This was a budgeted project, and as you can see, I included that information in my letter. Received 2 quotes, and from Henninger Construction for $7,860, Great Lakes Acoustical for $6,500, and Clinton Interiors for $5,250. So at this time, I would request that unless the board has any questions, that the board approve and award the contract to Clinton Interiors for $5,250. And this sales rep, as I noted in my letter, is a Lenox Township resident. And that's completely remove everything off-site. They can't use our dumpster. So they have to bring their own trailer or dumpster to haul everything off-site.
And you had that budgeted then?
Yes, I did. I've got, I budgeted $20,000, Scott, for building improvements and renovations, so this was included in that line item.
Okay. Any other questions?
Make a motion that we approve the replacement of the ceiling tiles in the fire department and grant the bid to Clinton Interiors in the amount of $5,250.
I second.
Motion by Clerk Kendall, supported by Trustee Gurley. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Letter B, Fire Department Jumpsuit Replacement Project.
Item number 2 is, as Supervisor stated, a replacement of our Nomex jumpsuits. We use those primarily for field fires as well as technical rescue incidents within the township and training. They have the same lifespan as structural firefighting gear, which means at the 10-year lifespan, they have to be taken out of service and replaced. So we have 14 of these sets of Nomex jumpsuits that need to be replaced. This again was a budgeted item. I budgeted $6,300, and our cost through Apollo, which is our fire gear vendor, is $5,319.86. So we actually came in almost $1,000 under budget, which was really good. So at this time, I request that you approve the purchase. They actually come in and they size everybody up. It's not a one-size-fits-all. Just like our fire gear, they'll send a salesman to the department, fit everybody, because I got guys from 6'10" down to 5'6", so they're made to fit.
I make a motion we award, on behalf of Chief Boucher, award the fire jumpsuit to Apollo at $5,300.86. I'm sorry, what was it?
$5,319.86.
$319.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
I second.
Motion by trustee Clifford, supported by trustee Gurley. Your discussion, questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Chief.
Is there any questions for everybody in the audience or board? I'm going to excuse myself. I'm not feeling too good tonight.
Understand.
Anybody? Okay. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you much. Letter C, DPW seasonal personnel hire request. See you there, sir. Good evening.
Oh, yes, good evening. The board should have in front of them a proposal, just like every year, to fulfill our open seasonal slot. Kind of everything's under the same parameters as the years in the past, starting right around late April, early May, finishing out late October, early November. $10 an hour, no benefits.
This is done every year.
Correct. Yeah.
Any questions?
My goal would be is to, get this in the paper as soon as possible, the voice, receive applications and interviews, and try and have a recommendation for the next board meeting.
Make a motion that we approve the request for advertising and filling the position of seasonal employee at the amount of $10 per hour as requested.
Second.
Motion by Clerk Cadell, supported by Treasurer Arnold. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Lenox Township Library Lawn Care Service request.
I did receive a request again from the library director asking for lawn maintenance. I did speak with her earlier today because we did have a slight conversation about this last year, because we've been doing the lawn and snow for quite a few years now. Instead of coming twice a year to just do one proposal for the entire season. And she kind of forgot about our discussion about doing it once a year. And she's all in favor of it, so if you want to approve it for this up and coming, long coming season as well as the next snow season, she was cool with that. At this time, I don't see any reason to change any of the parameters of that agreement as well.
Yeah, do you remember what we charge for snow plowing?
I believe snow plowing was $350 a year and lawn maintenance was $300. So it'd be a total of $650 a year.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, I'll make a motion to approve approve the DPW to do snow plowing and lawn maintenance at the Lenox Township Library for a total of $650.
Second.
Motion by Treasurer Honnold, supported by Trustee Gurley. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Letter E, 2018 Macomb County Department of Roads Dust Control Program.
Good evening. Before you have two quotes, one from the Macomb County Department of Roads. The first two applications are at no charge to the township. Any additional applications would be on us, whether we want to use Macomb County or if we want to use road maintenance. Her quote, which you also have her letter, there was an error in it with the amount of miles in the township. So I talked to her today and corrected that. And then she's discussed with me the amount if we want to go with her for any additional applications. And she said you could do 2,000 gallons per mile, or 3,000 gallons per mile. The county does 3,000 gallons per mile. So she gave me a cost on both of those. Her 3,000 miles, the dollar amount is exactly the same as the county. So I don't see why we wouldn't want to use less product on the roads. That's totally up to you.
And just to give the board some history on that, the last time that this was bidded out, or previous to this, we had two quotes, one from the county, one from Patricia. And they get their product from her anyhow.
Correct.
And we went with the county, even though it was slightly higher, then it just turned around and subbed it out to her. So it's her regardless of who you pick.
Correct. Now the dollar amounts are the same, and if we did choose her, she would coordinate with the county for when they do the grading of the roads and follow along like...
I think the impression we were under was trying to keep the money within the county.
Yeah.
And then in turn, they just subbed it out to the other bidder.
Yeah. You know, and the county's not increasing the cost because of any reason. They're keeping it pretty low.
So is there going to be a revised contract from her?
If you choose to
Go with
Award it with her.
Request a revision?
Yes.
Okay.
Those would just be for the additional applications, or
correct.
we get two from the county as it is, correct?
Right, usually one is like sometime middle to the end of May, and then the second one would be sometime in June. And then if we choose a third or a fourth, they would be later in the year, like August and September. Usually July is kind of dry, so they don't do July. Or if they do July, they don't do August. It just depends on the weather.
And we have canceled them in the past too.
Mm-hmm.
So if we approve one and it's a wet time of year for some, we've had canceled before.
Yeah, there was one.
Is that a contractor?
Yes.
There was one year we did the two from the county and then two more through the county, and we only ended up doing one, so they gave us the credit back of the one application. So that was a couple years ago.
Yeah, the only other problem is just for information purposes, they are coming from Leonard, Michigan. So when they're booked, they're booked. So sometimes there can be rain. There's really no way of rescheduling with them to get it done. Any other questions?
I have none.
J recommendation. You think the 3 are sufficient?
I don't know what kind of summer we're gonna have. I haven't heard anything through the weather, whether it's gonna be dry, if it,
Do you know what we have budgeted?
I think 2 applicants.
Yeah, I believe we budgeted 2 on top of the 3.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
so
3, 2.
4, yeah, 4 altogether.
Right,
Like I said, if you want to get 4, you can cancel
Right,
if you see fit.
right.
But I think we've been sticking around 3.
last year for sure, I can't remember, I didn't look back farther than that to see how many we did. If you want to approve just the 2 the 2 applicants from the county right now, and then next month I can do the research to see how many we've done in the past few years, and then do an additional application or 2 next month.
Board's pleasure.
I don't see a reason to wait. I mean, we can approve the 4 and always cancel 2. We budgeted for the 2 extra, didn't we? Along with the counties. Well, we can always cancel. As long as we have it budgeted, I don't have a problem with doing it all right now.
And the thing is, with the county, we have to pay off for the 2 applications now, and
Well,
then,
the other company doesn't ask for money up front, do they?
you know, that's not a question I asked her. Probably.
It looks like her quote on number 24 says payment will follow within 30 days of each application, so it looks like she's not asking for the money up front.
In both the county and road maintenance, that there's one street that is not working and the dust is still terrible. After they both will come back out and redo that one section, so.
Correct. Well, if they're waiting for 30 days, I really don't have a problem with it then. We can always cancel,
Right.
you know, so we don't have to front the money.
Make a motion.
I make a motion that we approved the dust control program for the Macomb County Road Commission, 2 applications, with an additional 2 applications possible by Road Maintenance Corporation of Leonard, Michigan, and as needed for those two applications.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. Motion by Trustee Clifford, supported by Treasurer Arnold. And that, I think, can add to your motion that cost of application, per application?
That would be $21,000.
No,
22.
22,440.
The other side.
Yeah. Same as the county.
22,440.
22,440.
Okay,
Okay.
22,440.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions, discussion? Deputy Clerk, roll call, please.
Clifford.
Aye.
Connell.
Aye.
Trombley.
Aye.
Gurley.
Aye.
Kendall.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Letter F, AT&T Video Service Franchise Agreement Renewal.
May I address this?
Please, Attorney Dovry.
You have 2 letters from Spencer Bondi with my office. One of them is designated as confidential. That is because AT&T, in their request for renewal of their existing franchise, designated their service area as confidential. And rather than argue with them about that, you have that. I'm not recommending you meet in closed session to discuss it, just to point that out for the record. The letter that is not confidential provides you with a resolution that would approve the requested franchise renewal. AT&T has requested the renewal even though their existing franchise, which runs for 10 years, does not expire until this coming October. That franchise was approved automatically under the state law that gives local governments basically no choice in these matters. The statute basically says that within 30 days of a request for a video franchise being made, you have to approve it, and if you don't, then it's automatically approved. So it's a great law out of Lansing. At any rate, the recommendation is that you adopt a resolution as presented. We favor affirmatively approving these rather than going with the automatic approval. In the resolution, the township reserves its rights to challenge the law or this standard form franchise, which is also part of this act. There is no ability to negotiate terms or conditions like there used to be under cable franchising. And it reserves the township's ability to take benefit if some municipality were able to challenge this successfully. So the recommendation is to adopt the resolution as presented. A motion to do that would be the way to go. I've already talked with Luann about how to fill in the page with the date the franchise was submitted, and today would be the date that it was treated as completed and approved. Ron, you'll have the pleasure of signing it, and it will be good for another 10 years. I would point out one thing. This will provide for a public educational and governmental access fee based on 2% of gross revenues. The AT&T original submittal said that they had been paying 50 cents per subscriber, but they agreed to go with the 2% of gross revenues, which is the maximum that a community may charge for that type of fee. The video franchise fee, which used to be called a franchise fee, is set at the 5% maximum under the state law as well. Happy to answer any questions. If you don't have any, I won't be broken-hearted.
Thank you, Mr. Gilbert. Any questions?
I have none.
Do we need to read this resolution aloud?
No.
Just the resolution number. We have one question. Ma'am, could you go to the podium, please?
Okay, sorry, this is my first time here.
Just state your name and your address, please.
Good evening. I'm Joyce Schulte. I live at 34940 32 Mile Road, Lenox.
Good evening.
Good evening. And I've lived in Lenox about not quite 2.5 years. I would like to ask, on the video franchising thing, do you happen to have the bill number or the law that stated this?
It was passed in 2006. Public Act 480 of 2006. It took effect January 1 of 2017.
Okay, it's Public Act 280 and 480?
480
Okay,
of 2006.
okay. All right, thank you very much.
I wish they were all that easy. Thank you.
See how far I get with my questions to the state. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Just as far as the motion, Mr. Dover, she just states the resolution number, correct?
Appropriate action would be a motion. I think we've decided this is going to be resolution 2018-6.
That's correct.
So the motion would be to adopt resolution 2018-6, which is approving renewed uniform video service local franchise agreement with Michigan Bell Telephone Company, doing business as AT&T Michigan, as presented by the township attorney.
Thank you, sir.
I will make that motion. I will make a motion that we approve resolution number 2018-6, resolution approving a renewed uniform video service local franchise agreement with Michigan Bell Telephone Company, doing business as AT&T Michigan, as presented by the township attorney.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion by Clerk Kendall, supported by Treasurer Honnold. Any other discussion or questions? Deputy Clerk, roll call, please.
Kendall.
Aye.
Connell.
Aye.
Clifford.
Aye.
Gurley. Aye. Trombley.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. Letter H, Michigan Chamber Labor Law Poster Service.
I think you forgot G.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You didn't
Missed
want to
one.
talk about my...
Letter G, election, apologize for that. Election laptop computer replacement proposal.
Okay, just just a quick background. I went to an elections meeting and was informed by the Michigan Bureau of Elections personnel there that the laptops we currently use with our electronic poll books have basically reached the end of their useful life, and they are requesting that we purchase replacements. The originals were given to us as part of a grant. Now that they're dying, they want us to replace them. I've received 3 quotes anywhere from $517 to $739. I would like to do a little bit more in the area of negotiating on these prices. However, at this time, because we have a May 8th election, I'm requesting that the board approve an expenditure of up to $2,800 to replace the state-issued laptops. There is $6,000, $6,500 in the elections budget for equipment.
Okay, thank you. Any questions?
And that, what you're requesting is based on that upper price, Luann, at the $739?
I just kind of wanted to leave a little wiggle room in there because there's a couple of other things we need to get to go along with them, like a couple of cables so that we can plug in 3 USBs and that kind of thing. So I just wanted to leave a little wiggle room. I'm very, very hopeful to come in quite a bit below that, but I just wanted to make sure I was covered.
Okay.
Other questions?
These prices, where do you normally price them from?
One of them is from Staples. One of them is with our contract.
High-Tech.
The other one is from High Tech, and then the other one is just a search that we did. I actually had my son do a search.
Any other questions?
Okay.
I will make a motion that we approve expenditure for the clerk's office to buy laptops for the election not to exceed $2,800.
I second.
Thank you. Motion by Treasurer Honnold, supported by Trustee Clifford. Other discussion? Deputy Clerk, roll call, please.
Arnold.
Aye.
Clifford.
Aye.
Trombley.
Aye.
Kendall.
Aye.
Gurley. Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes. Now to letter H, Michigan Chamber Labor Law Poster Service. Deputy Supervisor, thank you.
Okay, I was contacted by Karen Putman from Michigan Chamber Services for the labor law posters. It would be a big convenience for me to have this service. It's $39 for the year. Any updates automatically get emailed to me. And I don't have to go on the website and search.
Yeah, these are a must-have.
Yeah, and I wouldn't hear when updates happen, so it's just great that they're on top of it.
Yep.
I'm asking for 2 sets, one for here at the township, and Cam needs one for the DPW.
We don't have to do the fire department?
Denny takes care of his own.
Oh, does he? Okay. And that's $40 per building?
It's $39 per package.
Okay.
I can tell you that I went online and tried to search, and it's not easy to find these if you don't get them already laminated in. I mean,
No,
you
they're
can find them, but, you know.
They're taking liability for that.
And they're 11 pages long, and it's like, you know, so I would think that.
This is a...
Any other questions?
I make a motion that we purchase 2 sets with what were now the labor law posters at $39.95 a piece?
$39 even.
Even?
Correct.
One for the township hall and one for the DPW.
I second.
Thank you. Motion by Trustee Clifford, supported by Trustee Gurley. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Letter I, 2018 limestone project.
You probably don't have anything because I didn't get anything. We normally do the limestone approval the same time we do the dust control approval. I contacted Sue at the county and I haven't heard back from her, but I found the email on Ron's computer a little while ago and they needed this information. They needed our approval by last week. It's the same program as the last few years. They will do the 90-10%
90%
split.
shared cost.
Yes.
10% to the township, 90% the county paid.
Correct. And they want to know if we're going to opt in for the 3 miles. Like in the past few years, we tell them right away that yes, we want to opt in, but we give them the 3 miles in another month or so because the roads just aren't ready to tell us which ones are
Yeah,
which.
just for informational purposes, they allot 2 miles. We ask for an extra bonus mile that we can get also at the same cost sharing. So it only costs the township 10% of total cost.
Now they're doing all the communities 3 miles.
Correct. And then we allow our emergency services, our DPW, EMS, and fire typically dictate what is the highest priority for our roads, which ones are in the most
Yeah,
need.
Cam usually drives through the township and does an assessment.
And we do have a road maintenance program map available to any residents who'd like to see where the applications have been prior, so that it shows where we've started, where we've stopped, things of that nature.
And we did allow this in the budget. This was budgeted 3
Yes.
miles.
Yes.
I make a motion we renew that contract with the Macomb County Road Commission on 3 miles of limestone as budgeted.
Second.
Motion by trustee Clifford, supported by trustee Gurley. Any other questions or discussion? Deputy Clerk, roll call, please.
Clifford.
Aye.
Gurley. Aye. Kendall.
Aye.
Connell.
Aye.
Trombley.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Number 11, public comment. Any public comment this time? Yes, ma'am. Would you go to the microphone, please? State your name and address. Sorry, I didn't get It's in the resolution. Okay.
My name's Virginia Hoffman. I live at 35450 27 Mile Road, Lenox.
Good evening.
You can pull that down if you want.
Okay, 'cause I'm a short person. My concern is the fact that Lenox seems to be, I guess, for lack of a better term, not observing the holiday season as other townships do with parties and some decorations. You have a beautiful tree out there. I think it could stand some lighting. And I've been a resident for 55 years and I haven't done anything about it till now. But my husband, I know, has expressed concern, and I think with our township hall being located on Gratiot and the traffic that goes by, I've attended Ray Township's Christmas party. It's wonderful. Even reindeer. I think we could start out with that, but I think we need to start. And I think the time is now to start doing something to, and if we are not allowed to say Merry Christmas anymore or whatever, Happy Holidays, something, but some kind of a presence and maybe some kind of a little party for our township kids. I might even know where we could find Santa. So, I'd like the board to give consideration to doing something. Especially, we do have that wonderful tree out there. And I know this has been talked about, but I'm sure I'm not the only one concerned. Yes, so.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? session.
I make a motion that we adjourn at 7:10.
Second.
Motion by trustee Gurley, supported by treasurer Arnold. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Meeting adjourned.